basics of any programming language. I think I already put this document in the Google class. I already shared. You guys can take it. Now we have what we completed so far: data types, variables, operators, conditional statements, control statements, nothing but loops, arrays, functions, and methods. Okay. Now we will today actually start with what? We will start with the Java. Types of functions you remember, right? Predefined and user defined. User defined, which we are going to write ourselves. Predefined means which is already defined. I think they also explained you the same thing, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's start with OOPS. OOPS is nothing but object-oriented programming language. Okay, if any programming language that supports below features, then that language is known as OOPS language. Don't think only Java is the language which comes under OOPS. Any language, it doesn't matter. Any language you guys are using, it doesn't matter if it is supporting all these 5 features. If it is supporting all these 5 features, then we are going to call it as a object-oriented programming language. You have Java, you have C#, you have Ruby, you have Python, you have a .NET. All these languages comes under object-oriented. Why we are having all this under OOPS? Because all these are supporting these 5 features. Always remember, any language that supports these features, then that language is going to be called as a object-oriented programming language. C does not support these features. That's why we don't call C as a object-oriented programming language. C++ is also object-oriented programming language. Java also object-oriented. C# is also object-oriented. All these things are the object-oriented. Now, we already written so many programs without even knowing what is a class. Correct? Whatever we are writing, where we are writing, we are writing everything inside the class. Now, whatever examples we have done so far, or whatever assignments you guys have done, all these things are implemented inside the class only. Now, what is a class? First 5 minutes. We are starting from here. We are starting from here. We covered the basics of programming language, so we are starting now with the previous one. So whatever we have written so many classes, right? If you take, did you guys write any assignments? I think I have given some assignment. Recursion function, did I give you? Adding numbers, multiplication. We completed all these functions, arrays, loops, right? Okay. HRM application, test cases. Oh yeah, I'll write. I asked someone, did anyone wrote? You have written? You put it in Google Class. Instead of I write from the scratch, whatever you guys have written, it is already written. If there is some mistake, I will correct that. And again I will put it into the Google Class so that you guys can check it. Okay. Can you put it today to upload? Yeah. Now, what batch? 11 a.m. batch. Not this one, not HRM. Okay. Not Java, common features. Okay, so these are the examples what we have done, right? Example arrays. So where I am writing it? Inside the class. Now you take one more example, do while loop. Where I am writing it? Inside the class. Anything you write in any programming language, I mean, OOPS programming language, anything should go under class only. Anything should go under class. Now let's try to understand what is a class. Class is nothing but a combination of data members and methods. Class is nothing but combination of data members and methods. Data members is what? Did someone explain you class? Yeah. Then tell me, you already attended, right? What is a class? Blueprint of object. What is object? If you say class is a blueprint of the object, I will ask this question. Okay, what is object? Object is a real entity where we can see physical entity. Okay. So class is nothing but a combination of data members and methods. Data members means the variables. So whatever you guys are declaring the variables called as a data members. Functions you guys know. Now let me open another example. Functions. Now this is a class. What is the class name? Functions. Any name you can give it. Okay. This is my class. Class name. What it is, you are opening it here, right? So where are you closing? See, it is highlighting. So it is highlighting, right? So where I am opening here, I'm opening it here. It will highlight you where it is closing for. Okay. Now, what this class is containing? It is containing data members. Data members are nothing but variables. X is one variable. I can call it as one data member. Then it is also containing what? Function. Main is what? A predefined function. How many types of functions we have? Two types. One is predefined, another one is user defined. Main comes under predefined. Main comes under predefined. Predefined means which is already defined. Predefined means which is already defined. You guys can go ahead and use them. What is this add? Add is also a function. Add is also a function. Who has defined? Between function and there is no difference between function and the method. Both are the same. In simple term to say, this is a class which contains the data members and the functions. That is called as a class. Okay. This is exactly called as a class. Now let's look at one example. Now I wanted to create a class. What is the syntax? Class name. Like int variable name. Similar way, class name. So what is my class name? I wanted to create my class name as car. Okay. Class contains what? Data members. Data members means variables, right? Now I would put int wheels. Car will have wheels. Now I'll put one more thing called string steering. Car will have brake. I'll say brake. Okay, it has so many things. I'm just leaving it these values. Now I'll write one function called run. Car will run. Right. Now I'll write one function called brake. Then I'll close the class. So what is my class name? Car. Class contains what? Data members and methods. So what are the data members here? The data members here you have wheels, steering, brake. Just data members, nothing but your variables in your class. Just remember, whenever mostly people ask interview question, what is a class? Class is nothing but a combination of data members and methods. Data members mean they might ask you next question, what do you mean by data member? Simply say that it is nothing but a variables. Okay. And it contains the methods. What methods I have here? Two methods. One is run, one is brake. So I will write the code to run the car inside the run method. I'll write some code to stop the car inside the brake method. So this is what exactly called as a class. Is it clear? Simple combination of data and methods. Data members and methods. Data members are what? Variables. Methods, whatever you are writing it inside the class. Okay. Now what is an object? What is an object? Now object is an instance of the class. Object is an instance of the class. Yeah, good. Return type of the functions. That's why basics we learned. Why we write void? If a function is not returning any value, if function is not returning any value, then we write the void. If function is returning a value, what we write? Return type. Now that's what we are doing. I think we are again going back to the, so what we are writing here, return type. Why I'm writing float? Function can return a value, right? We covered this discussions, right? Yeah. So function can return a value. So what value it is returning? Sum. What is a sum? Variable. What data type? Float. So is it returning a value? What should be the return type? That's why we are writing. Okay. This function is not returning anything, so I'm writing it as a void. So now what is an object? Object is an instance of the class. Better you make a note, definition for class, make a note, class. Class is a, make a note, class. Class is a combination of, class is a combination of data members. Class is a combination of data members and methods. Methods slash functions. You can, it's up to you. You can call it as method. You can call it as a function. It's up to you. Okay. Next, make a note of object. Object is a instance of the class. Object is a instance of the class. Okay. Object, make continuation. Object is a physical entity, physical entity, ENTITY, entity. Object is a physical entity. Object is a physical entity which will have, object is a physical entity which will have look and feel, which will have look and feel. Syntax to create a object. Syntax to create an object. Syntax for creation of object. Now I'm writing it here. Syntax for creation of object. Now what is class name? Object class name space object name equal to new class name. Example. What is, okay, you make a note, I will explain after that. Okay, syntax for, did you note down syntax for creation of object? Class name space object name equal to new class name. Example. What is my class name here? Car. Always remember class name should start with capital letter. Start from practice beginning so that you follow the industry standards. Class name always starts with capital letter. So what is my syntax? Class name. To create an object, what is the syntax? Class name. What is my class? Car equal space object name. Okay, Maruti is one object. Maruti is one of the car, right? So it's object name. You can give any name equal to new. What is the class name? Car. This is syntax for creating an object. Okay, just make a note of this example also. Whenever you create an object, just refer your notes, follow the syntax. 2-3 times you need to refer notes, then automatically you will remember. You don't need to refer notes for every time. Okay. Car object name equal to new car. Done. Sorry. Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay. Now make a note new. You are using the new year, right? What is new? make a note. Put heading as a new, just like this, and then make a note. New. New is a keyword. New is a keyword. New is a keyword. New is a keyword which is used to. New is a keyword which is used to allocate the memory. Which is used to allocate the memory. Okay. So whenever you create an object, you have to use the new keyword. That's the syntax. You have to follow whatever they suggested. So new is what? A keyword. Whenever you use a new, what system is going to do? System is going to allocate the memory. Okay. Now, what is an object which is a physical entity and which will have the look and feel, correct? Now, can I see Maruti car? Is it not a physical entity? You can see it, right? So I will create one more object. You can create any number of objects. Don't think I have to create only one object. You can create any number of object. Now I'm going to create one more object called Skoda equal to new car. This is the second object. Can you see Skoda car on the road? This physical entity. Maruti is having what? Wheels, steering, brake, run, all are same, right? Skoda will also have these features. Same thing. I'll create one more car called City equal to new car. City is also one of the car. So what it is, that physical entity. You can see Maruti car, you can see Skoda, you can see City as well. So these all are the cars. All these cars are having what? Common features. What are those common features? We are defining it inside the class. Class is a template. Object is a reality. Object is a reality. So that is what exactly called object. Is it clear? Class is combination of data and methods or functions. Both are same. So it will contain combination of data members and methods. So data members I already have here, 3 variables. Methods also I have 2 methods which I have written. So what is an object? Object, whenever you create an object, you will see physical entity which is having look and feel. Example, Maruti car, Skoda car, or Honda City, whatever, like this. Okay. Now let's try to write some programs using the class and object. Okay. So common features are done, and we are going with Java examples. So these many examples what we are going to discuss for the Java. Okay. Student, let's see what I have. Okay. Okay. Now I wanted to write one program. Okay. So which batch? 11 a.m. right? Okay. 11 batch. This is only the 11, right? Okay. Okay. Now I wanted to write one program. Okay. What program? Do I have any program called marks? Did we talk about marks example? Greater than or equal to 35, less than 90? That we already done. Okay. Let's go with student. Okay. Let me delete it and again I'll write it so that you guys can understand it from beginning. Okay, I'm going to write one program where I wanted to initialize some student details on class. From now onwards, any programs you guys are going to write, create one package. Okay. Now, if you observe here how I am organizing, here I am putting common features. All examples related to common features will be under this package. We will discuss what is a package, why we have to use it and all. But for time being, make sure you create a new package and that package name can be Java examples and try to write one example there. Create one package. How to create a package, you guys know, right? You already have detailed steps. You just refer to the steps. Right click on SRC, click on new, select the package. Don't click on the project, click on the SRC. You already have notes. Step by step, I already given. give some package name. Always remember package name will be always in small letters. Class will be always in first letter will be the capital letter. Package, every letter will be in the small letter only. When you are going to create a package, every letter would be in the small letters. Okay. Now I already created a package. So you guys try to create a new package. Now I'm creating new. How to create a class? New. I hope you already know this, right? You already written so many examples so far. Click on class. Now, what is my class name? Student. See, it should start with the capital letter only. It's clearly saying type name is discouraged. By convenience, Java type names usually start with upper letter. That's what even they are suggesting. It's a warning. It's not an error. It's a warning. You got the difference between warning and error, right? Warning you still have, you can manage. If you have an error, you cannot run it. So I'm just starting with the capital letter. I wanted to write student. Check this public static void main. Every program execution starts from where? Main. Every program execution starts from the main. Now, what I wanted to do, I wanted to take one student. Okay. I wanted to take one student details. Okay. What student will have? Student will have name. Student will have roll number. Student will have group. Which group it belongs to? Student name, student roll number, and student group. To which group student belongs to? Now, I wanted to write one function. Functions you understand, right? Without functions, you will not. Whenever you guys go for automation, you will always write everything in the functions only. Always remember, don't, if you're not clear, try to do more practice with the functions, because I'm trying to explain some concept. If you are struggling with the concept of functions, then that's a problem. So you'll not be, I'm trying to explain now what is class, how to create object, all the stuff. But if you think functions, you're not clear, just go through it again. Okay. Now, I wanted to write one function. Okay. We'll directly come here. Make sure one definition should not be in another one. Function will have definition, right? So I'm writing one function called void init. Okay. Void init. So before to that, how many types of variables you have? 3 types. What are those? No. Types of variables. Those are data types. I'm asking variables. Data type is different, variable is different, right? Did we talk about local variable and global variable? No? Okay. I'll explain it today. So first what I'm taking, name. Name is what data type? String. String name. Then I'm saying string. Otherwise, let me put this way. Name equal to, otherwise don't give it, leave it. Now int roll number. You have int roll number. You have what? Group. Group is nothing but letters. So string group. Okay. Now I wanted to write a method which is taking the parameters. What are the parameters it is taking? One is called string name underscore temp. Okay. Comma. What is then roll number underscore temp, comma, string group underscore temp. Are you guys clear with the functions and parameters? Oh, you forgot. You cannot say forgot because once you go to interview, you cannot say forgot. You have to keep refreshing yourself. Whenever you see, manual testing is done. There is no much assignment. There is no much practical things you to do. It's only theoretical concept. If there is any practical in manual testing, what you have? Only writing the test cases, execution of the test cases, and logging the defects. Those are the practical thing in the manual testing. But when it comes to here, everything is practical. You have to do assignments. Okay. Now already we discussed the functions, right? Functions is what it is taking some parameters. Add what parameters it is taking? 2 parameters. What data type? Integer. So function definition, when it will execute? How many things you have in functions? Function calling and function definition. If you call the function, then only it is going to execute the definition. Otherwise, it will not execute. I think I showed you, right? Without calling also, I showed you. Did we execute this program? No. Did we talk functions? Then why did you not stop me? I thought I already explained. Okay, let's go one by one. Basics of any programming language we will try to understand. Did we talk data types? Did we talk variables? Did we talk operators? End operator, or operator, less than or equal to, greater than, we discussed. Okay. Okay, tell me where we started. What? Okay, you tell me what you. Operators completed. Yeah. Conditional statements. If else, we also did Mark's program completed. Then conditional loops. Did we talk while loop, for loop, do while loop? No. Okay, then we should not go to Java. Okay, first we will finish. What now? You all guys tell me what is completed here. Someone saying yes, someone is saying no. I don't, because I'm having different batches. It is difficult to remember which batch what topic is going on. Sorry. If else statement we completed. Now we did not go for the loops. Okay, you should have stopped me immediately. Why are you going to Java? We did not complete. Come on, variables we discussed. I also put example in Google Class. Variables we discussed, right? We also talked about rules for declaring the variables. Okay, let's see what online folks are saying. Data types and variables only completed. Okay, variable and data type. Okay, you are explaining too much speed. Okay. Yeah, it's not too much speed because you don't know anything about functions. If I write functions, it's not a too much speed. You will not understand. If I tell you same thing 100 times also, you will not understand. I was seeing the faces when I was when I was writing this coding, right? When I was writing this code, I was seeing the faces, literally surprise faces. I got confused. Did I explain functions? You said yes, yes, completed. And when I asked how many types of functions, you said predefined and user defined. So what should I understand? I understand it is already completed. So okay, okay. So okay, let's consider now we are done only with the data types and the variables. Okay, fine. Operators also we discussed, right? What are the different operators we have? Okay, no worries. We will go again from operators. Okay. Installation of the operators, right? So we have arithmetic operators. We discussed, right? Arithmetic. Discussed. Okay, we will recap again. Every programming language will have the operators. All the languages will have same operators. You take C, same concept, C++, same, Java, same. Any language, these are going to be same. Okay. Now we have arithmetic operators for doing all arithmetic operations. Arithmetic operations are like plus, minus, multiplication, division. I think I said you to write one program for multiplication, and did you guys do? Okay. Then you have a modulus operator. What is modulus operator? Which will give you the reminder. దాన్ని ఏమంటారు భాగారం. Modulus will give you then reminder. Okay, let's go it in English. Fine. I think that day we discussed bagaram and all, right? Telugu medium, you don't know. Okay. It is showing here it cannot be resolved. Put capital S. Okay, string should be capital S. It should start with the capital S. Okay. Now relation operators are nothing but greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than equal to, and not equal to. Equality operator. Equality operator is nothing but comparing. Double equal to. Equal to means assignment operator. Double equal to mean comparison operator. You are trying to compare one value with another value. If both are matching, it will return true. If both are not matching, it will return false. Okay. Then you have plus operator. This is called, plus is coming as arithmetic operator, and it is also coming as concatenation operator. Plus is coming in both concatenation as well as arithmetic operator. Arithmetic means if you are trying to use plus with the two numeric values, it will behave as a arithmetic operator. Example, here I am saying, example, if you look at the normal program, I'm saying int a. What is the string a? What is the value of string? Ashok. What is int b? This is a string. This is a int. This is a numeric value. This is a non-numeric value, alphabetics, right? When I say a plus b, I'm saying what I'm saying here, a plus b. So what does that mean, a plus b? What you will get result? Ashok, 10. That is called a plus b. Plus is acting as what here? Concatenation operator. If I say a into a equal to 10 into b equal to 10, if I say a plus b, it will give me the 20. 10 plus 10. That time plus is going to work as a arithmetic operator. One string and one numeric data type, it will called as a concatenation. So what when I say a plus b, it is giving me Ashok, then it is concatenating. It means it is adding. Concatenation means not that arithmetic adding. Don't think plus, that adding is different. This is adding in the last. Now if I say b plus a, what is the value of b? 10. 10 Ashok. This is called concatenation. Plus can be used in both the ways. One for arithmetic, one for concatenation. It can be used for both. So it depends upon where you are using the plus. If you're using plus with the two numeric numbers, then it will behave as a arithmetic operator. One numeric and one alphabetic letters, then it will behave as a concatenation operator. Okay. So now you also have one more thing called logical operators. So what we have logical operators, AND operator, OR operator, and not equal. I think this we already discussed. What is difference? Variables, don't worry. We'll write any program you write, you will have a variable. That time also I'll explain multiple times. Okay. Now, what is the difference between AND operator and OR operator? If you use AND, both should be true. If you don't use AND, if you're using OR operator, you have two operators. One is AND operator, another one is OR operator. If you're using AND operator, both should be true. If you're using OR operator, any one should be true. A or B, but not A and B. A and B means both. A or B means any one. Logical not. A not equal to B. As long as value of A is not equal to B, it will not continue doing this. Okay. Now conditional statements. Conditional statements means any program we write, we have to compare, we have to check some condition. Did we discuss this? If else, no. Okay. Okay. So now conditional statements are used to execute set of statement based on the condition. We talked about white box testing techniques, right? We have, what are the different types of techniques we have? Condition coverage, path coverage, or segment coverage, right? Statement coverage. So there we use the conditions, right? Now, these conditional statements are most of the time used for checking a condition. Now I want to write a program. I want to write a program where I wanted to display whether student is pass or fail. Whether student is pass or fail. So I have to use some condition. So what is syntax? Syntax is, there are 4 types under conditional statements. One is if, another one is else, another one is else if and nested if, right? If, else, else if and nested if. So if condition, if the condition is true, then only these statements will execute. Always remember, this is called as one block. Opening and closing is called one block. Any statements you are putting under this block purely dependent on the condition. If the condition is true, then only these statements will execute. If the condition is false, it is not going to execute these statements. Okay. Always remember, whenever I say condition, there can be only 2 outcomes. One outcome is true. One outcome is false. If it is true, it will execute these statements. If it is false, it will not execute. Okay. Now this is called if condition. Here it is checking for only one condition. But if you go for else if, you have one more thing called else if. Where is that? If else. Okay. Now condition, if you write some condition, if the condition is true, it will execute these statements. If the condition is false, it will go to else. Always remember, for else, you don't need to write the condition. For else, you don't need to write the condition, because if condition is false, it will automatically come to else. Don't think it will execute both. Don't think if and else will execute. Only one will execute. I repeatedly saying condition outcome can be two. One is true, one is false. What can be the outcomes? Only two outcomes. One outcome is true or one outcome is false, but it cannot be both. It cannot be both. It should be a true or it should be a false. Now, if condition is true, it will execute those statements. If condition is false, automatically it will go to else. For else, you don't need to write the condition. For else, you don't need to write the condition, because if is failed, automatically it will come to else statement. That is only the difference. Now, I have one more thing called else if. First thing is what? If. First thing is what? If. It will execute if it is true. It will not allow to, it is not allowing you to check one more condition. When it comes to else if, this is, sorry, this is if else, not else if. This would be if else. If condition is true, it will execute if. If not, it will go to else if. Now, if I wanted to check multiple conditions, if I wanted to check for multiple condition, what is happening in case of if? Only these statements will execute if it is true. If next one you have if condition, then you have else. So you're checking for two condition. If is fail, then go to else. Now, if I go for else if is allowing you to check for multiple conditions. Else if allowing to check multiple conditions. Now you write if condition, write some statements. Then you have else if, one more condition. Then if you wanted to add one more else if you wanted to add, you can add it. Another one is else. So else if is allowing you to check multiple conditions. It's if you use if only one condition. If else, if or else. Then else if, it will check for multiple conditions. I'll give you one example for all these things so that you guys can understand it. Okay. Now nested if. Nested if means one if inside the if. You have if, inside the if you are writing one more if, that is called as nested if. One if inside the another if. Now we will write one program. Okay, we will write one program, like already given the file name as student. Okay. So marks means new. Sorry, mine is also deleted. So I wanted to display the student marks. Okay. So int marks, variable name. So what is a variable? Whenever you use int, what system is doing? System is allocating some memory. So how many bytes of memory it is allocating? 4 bytes. Whenever you use int, it is going to allocate 4 bytes of memory, right? That memory location name will be marks. I think I showed you in Paintbrush also, right? Did I show you? So what I did now, I allocated, I declared one variable called int. So as long as you declared a variable, so immediately whenever you allocate the memory, right? Whenever you guys allocate, it is showing something different. Okay. What system is going to do? System is going to allocate memory like this. I think I showed you this also, right? I saw someone still asked what is the variable, so I'm explaining it again. So I declared int. What system done? It allocated some memory. What is variable name? What is my variable name? This is data type. This is not a variable. What name it will give you to memory allocation? It is going to specify the location name equal to marks. So what is the value I have given? Let's say marks equal to 35. Example. Marks equal to 35. What value it will store? This is called variable. How memory is going to be. Is it clear? So whenever you declare a data type, give some value, system is immediately going to allocate the memory. How I'm just trying to show you how it is going to happen in the system. Okay. Now, what is the first one I have? Conditional statements. What is the first one? If. What is the syntax? If condition, execute some statements. Now I'll go here. I'll write according to the syntax, if condition marks less than marks greater than or equal to 35. What I would say, open the curly bracket. I would say system dot out dot println student is it clear? What is the value of marks? What is the condition? See, Java is a case sensitive. There is a difference between capital S and small s. Why it is still giving error? Okay, don't worry why it's asking static and all. Don't worry why static I'm adding, just ignore it. We have separate session in the Java, what is static, why to use static and all. We will discuss it. Now, what is the value of marks? Value of marks is it okay, I'll write 34. The condition is true. What is the marks value? 34. If condition, what is my condition? If marks greater than or equal to 35. Is 34 is greater than 35? Equal to 35? Do you think it will execute that statement? It will not, because condition is false. Try to run it. You will not get any output. Module project was not found. Okay, let me do one thing. Yes, module and all Java. Okay, here I'll copy paste this code. Create new class. Student. Put public static void main. Click on OK. Okay, let me copy paste this code here. Okay. Try to run it. Is it displaying any output? Why this module error and all coming? I don't know why. Okay, anyhow, we'll do it. So when the condition is true, then only it is going to execute. If the condition is false, it is not going to execute it. Okay, so let me create one new project. You guys know how to create a project, right? New project. Java project 11 a.m. batch. I think it's not allowing. Java project. Click on next. 11 a.m. batch. Click on next. Click on finish. I think looks like these guys are updated. Java. Earlier we were not having any concept called module creation, etc. I think now they changed it. Package. I'll just say pack one. Just click on create. New class marks. Let me copy paste this code. Just declare. Is it displaying any output? Why? Condition is false. Okay. Now basically student can have two categories, pass or fail. Now is it allowing you to display student is fail? You are checking only one condition. One line is dependent. Student is passed based on the condition. Now I'll mark this equal to 35. Condition is true. True, right? Just try to run it. Is it printing student is passed? Why it is printing? Because condition is true. Okay, is it clear? If. Now next one, what you have? If else. If else. Now what I wanted to add here? Else. Just put else. Open the bracket. If the student is pass or fail. If marks are greater than or 35, I'm marking it as student is pass. Else means anything less than 35. For else, you don't need to write the condition. So I'm directly saying else. I'll just copy paste this. What I wanted to display, student is fail. Which one will it execute? Fail or pass? Because condition is true. Click on run. Now I'll change the marks to 34. When we had only if, it was not executing anything because condition is false. Now the condition is true. I wanted to run this. Student is fail. You guys got if one condition. If else, if that condition is false, it will come to else. Okay. If else. Any questions here in understanding if else? Simple English. If condition true, do this. Else, do this. Not only pass or fail. I'm just giving this example. Condition is true, it will execute. Condition is false, it will not execute because condition is false. Okay. Now you have one more thing called else if. So what is else if? So now I wanted to write a program. To display one is student is pass, one is student is fail, one is student is second class, one is student is first class. So how many conditions you have to check? You have to check a lot of conditions. Do you think you can do with the if else? We cannot do them, right? So now what I wanted to write, just first one is for fail. What is the fail? For fail, less than 35. If I'm getting student marks less than 35, I wanted to display that student is fail. Now, the next one, student pass greater than equal to 35. Just to pass. You have anything else? What condition we have to write? We can use AND operator or OR operator. I will explain you AND operator or operator in this example. Greater than or equal to 35. And what is the minimum pass? And less than marks less than 50. 35 to 49, we call it as a general pass, normal pass. 50 equal to and above, we call it as a just pass. Sorry, less than 50, we call just pass from 35 to 50. Less than 50 means 49. Less than 50 means what it will take? 49, right? And then I wanted to write one more second class. Second class starts from where? Greater than or equal to 50. If you get a 50 marks, we call it as a second class. And less than 60. I think 60 is first class, right? First, if mark starts from 60, it is going to be considered as a first class. I don't know, someone saying 75. Okay, we'll go for regular standard. Below 35, fail. 35 to 49, pass. 50 to 59. 50 to 59, second class. Anything above 60, first class. Do I need to write any condition here for first class? If marks is not greater than 35, it will not execute this. Now marks is 60. Let's say I am giving marks equal to 60. If this condition is true, first one is fail. 60 is not less than 35. So 60 is greater than 35. Condition is true. And if 60 is less than 50, which operator I am using? AND operator. AND means both should be true. Here both are true. Only one is true. Second class. Now 60, Mark's value, let's consider Mark's value as 60. Is 60 greater than 50? True. 60 is less than 60. Which operator we are using? AND operator. So none of these are passed. All are failed. Don't think failed student is failed. I'm saying test case condition is failed. Now, when all these conditions are failed, automatically it will go to, I'll put else here. Okay, we will write this program to understand. Now, forget about Mark's value. Now, if Mark's less than 35, first condition, this one I'm trying to check. If Mark's less than 35, I wanted to display that student is, who is pass? Less than 35 student is fail. Now the next condition, what I have to check? Should be greater than 35 and should be less than 50, just to display the pass. Now here I have to use else if. You have to use this condition, else space if. Now I have to write a condition. Marks greater than or equal to 35 and logical end operator. There I have written end so that you guys can understand it easily. Okay. Greater than or equal to 35 and marks less than 50. Student is pass. Now again one more. Now you are done with this condition. You are done with this condition. Next one I have to check for this condition. So what is the next one? Again I have to use else if. You can use any number of else if. There is no restrictions. Else if marks greater than or equal to 50. Now what criteria we are looking for? Second class. Greater than or equal to 50 and marks less than 60. Then what I wanted to display? Open the bracket. Student is second class. Else. When all those conditions are not meeting means first class. Is it clear? Now you tell me what is the marks. Okay, I will give marks equal to 60. Take the marks as 60. Marks equal to 60. Which one it will execute? It will go from top to bottom, line by line, right? So what is my first condition? My first condition is saying marks less than 35. What is the value of marks? 60. The first condition, 60 less than 35. Condition is false. Then it will go to the next condition. Else if 60 greater than 35. So whether 60 is greater than 35 or not. So what is the next condition? End. 60 less than 50. Condition is true. False. Do you think it will execute? Why? Condition is true, right? But only one condition is true because we are using end operator. Then again it will go for the next condition. Is 60 greater than 50? Condition is true. 60 less than 60? False, right? So where it will go? All are not true, right? Where it will go? Once all conditions are false, it will automatically go to else. Now execute it. What it is going to execute? Student is first class. Is it clear? Now I will use, instead of end operator, here I will use or operator. You understood, right? Why it is going to else? When all conditions are false, it will go to else. Okay. Now I will change this to or operator. Now which one it will execute? Student, what is the value of marks? 60. First condition, 60 less than 35. Condition is true. 60 less than 35. False. It will go to else if 60 is greater than 35. Next 60 is less than 50. Condition is, one condition is true, one condition is false. Or operator means any condition, anyone. Or operator means anyone should be true, right? Now what it is going to execute? Student is pass, because R operator means any one is true. It is going to consider to condition that. What it is saying? So it's up to you. You want to use AND operator, use it. You want OR operator, use it. You only understand the difference. AND means both should be true. OR means anyone. So here one is true, one is false. 60 is greater than 35, but 60 is less than 50, false. Because condition is true. How many conditions are true? Only one condition. So that's why it is trying to execute it. Is it clear? Differences between AND operator and simple English meaning. AND means both. R means anyone. Okay, this is what exactly considered for if, else if, and else. You can write any number of else if, but make sure you have to write one else, so that when all else ifs are false, it will go to the else statement. Okay, I'll put this program in the Google class. Okay, now next we will move on for the next one. We are done with nested if. Now try to write one assignment. Make a note assignment. Declare three variables. Declare three variables of integer data type. Declare three variables of integer data type. Declare three variables of integer data type and find out. I mean, when I say declare, give some values. Okay, give some numbers for these three variables. Find out greatest number. Find out greatest or biggest number. You guys got it right? Find out biggest number. Now what I will do, I'm just saying declare int a equal to 10, into b equal to 20, into c equal to 30. Any number is fine. Now you need to write a code to find out which number is the biggest number. How you do? Using if only. Yeah, you have to use else if also you have to use. Which operator you have to use? R operator or AND operator? R means anyone is fine. You should use AND operator here. Okay. You write a code so that you will get some practice and some kind of logical thinking. Use AND operator. Use if, else if, else. Okay. Now we'll move on for the next one. Next one, what you have? Nested if. You can even use the nested if also for this program. Nested if means if inside the if. If, see, I have if condition. Under if I'm writing one more if. Under if I'm writing one more if. This is called nested if. One if inside the another if. Generally, we don't recommend to have multiple nesteds. So one or two nested ifs okay. So if you write one if inside another if, that is called as a nested if. Okay. You can even try to use this nested if for the assignment. You should be able to do it. Okay. Nested if means one if inside the another if. I don't want to tell you the logic now. You do it yourself. If you don't get it, then I will explain you tomorrow. Okay. So try to do hands-on. That is the most important thing. If you don't do hands-on, you will not get practice to coding and all, which we will discuss. We will move on for the loops. Conditional statements. Conditional statements are nothing but loops. Loops are used to execute. Loops are used to execute set of parameter as per defined number of times. So any lines of code you wanted to repeat it for multiple times. Any lines of code you want to repeat it for multiple times, then go for using the loops. There are three types of loops. One is while loop, for loop, and do while. Now first we will try to understand. Always remember, whenever I say a loop, repetition purpose. What we are repeating? Set of statements. Any lines of code you want to repeat it for multiple times, then you go for using the loops. It doesn't matter which loop you are using. All loops are purpose is same. Repetition of the set of statements. Okay. Now, what is the syntax for the while loop? Syntax is initialization, while, condition, statements. Statements are nothing but which statements you want to repeat. Which statements you wanted to repeat, those are called as your lines of code. Okay. Incrementation or decrementation. Example, initialization means I'm declaring one variable called int I equal to 1. Initialization. While condition. What is my condition? While I less than equal to 10. Why equal to 10? Because I want to repeat it for 10 times. It can be 10, it can be any number. It's up to you. Don't think I have to use only 10 all the time. You can use any number. There is no restriction that you use to only 10. You can use any number. Now statements. Any statements you wanted to repeat, those statements should come under inside this bracket. Now I plus plus, incrementation or decrementation. You have incrementation or decrementation, right? So you have I plus plus, nothing but I equal to I plus 1. I plus plus means I equal to I plus 1. Or I minus minus. Minus minus means decrementation. I minus minus means decrementation. I minus minus, nothing but I equal to I minus 1. When you say I plus plus, I equal to I plus 1. I minus minus means I equal to I minus 1. You are reducing one value. Okay. Now, above code statements inside the loop will be repeated for 10 times. Why 10 times? Because I'm putting condition as 10. Now let's write one program. For which loop we are talking now? While loop. So I'll give my program class name as while. Okay. By looking at the name of your class, you should be able to understand what I'm doing here. You can give Ashok, you can give XYZ, anything, but it doesn't tell you what you are doing. Okay. Just give the class name, proper naming. Okay. For what purpose? Now, what is the first statement? Initialization, right? According to syntax, initialization. I have to say int, declare some variable I equal to 1, some value. This is called initialization. What is the variable name? I. Okay. Now condition. What is the syntax? While condition I less than or equal to 10. Why 10? It's my wish. I want to repeat 10 times. I'm putting it as 10. You want to repeat 100 times? Use 100. It's up to you. Okay. Don't think I should give only 10. While I less than 10, open this curly bracket and then say that value. I wanted to print the value of I. Plus I. What is the next one? I plus plus. Incrementation or decrementation? I go with I plus plus. Okay. How many times it will execute? Okay. Now let me explain you in detail. Okay. So what is the value of I? What is the value of I? 1. What is the condition? I less than or equal to 10. So what is the value of I? 1. Condition is true or false? 1 less than 10. Condition is true. So what it will print? It is going to print first time 1. Then next what I'm saying, I plus plus. So what is the value of I now? I plus plus means 1 plus 1. So what is the value of I now? 2, right? Again, it will go to checking the loop. Always remember, once it enters inside the loop, it will come outside the loop only when condition is false. Remember that. Once it enters means it is entered. If it has to come out of it, condition should be false. If condition is not false, it will always execute until it become false. Okay. Now 2 less than 10. Condition is true. So what it will print now? What is the value of I? Who is saying 1? Okay. What is the value of I first time? 1. It will go for check the condition, right? Okay. If you guys are confusing, I'll write this way. Is I less than is 1 less than, sorry, 1 less than or equal to 10. Condition is true. It will enter inside the loop. What it will print? It will print 1. Now what you are doing? I plus plus equal to what? 1 plus 1. Now what is the value of I? 2. Again, it will check the condition. Same thing. Is 2 is less than 10. Condition is true. It enters inside the loop. What it will print? 2. Okay. Now what is the value of I? 2 plus plus. I plus plus, right? 2 plus plus means 2 plus 1. What is the value of I? 3. Again, it will go for checking the loop. Is 3 is less than 10? Condition is true. What it is going to print? It is going to print 3. Next time, what is the value of I? I plus plus. I plus plus means 3 plus 1. Value of I is what? 4. Now, is 4 less than 10? What it will print? 4. Then again, I plus plus. What is the value of I now? 5. 4, we already got it, right? Value of I is 5. So is 5 less than 10 or equal to 10? Condition is true. True. What it will print? 5. You understood? Every time it will go to initialization only once. Always remember. Initialization only once. It will execute I equal to 1 only one time. It gets the value of I. It immediately goes for what? It immediately goes for checking the condition. So first time, what is the value of I? 1. 1 less than 10. What it will print? 1. Next time, I plus plus. What is the value of I? 2. 2 less than 10. True. It will print what? Next time, I plus plus. 2 plus 1. What is the value of I? 3. Next time, 4. Next time, it will go on. Up to what time? I'll explain. While exit control statement. Now we covered till 5. Let's say now value of I, finally value of I is 10. It's keep on incrementing, right? 1, 2, 3. Why it is keep on incrementing with 1? Because I'm saying I plus plus. I plus plus means I equal to I plus 1. So is 10 less than or equal to 10? Condition is true. Equal to 10, right? So what it will print? It will print 10. Now what is the value of I? 10 plus 1, 11. Is 11 less than 10 or equal to 10? Condition is it comes outside the loop. Okay. So try to run it. It will do the same thing. What it is going to do, it is going to print 1 to 10. See what it is printing? It's printing all 1 to 10 here. Remember, as long as condition is true, it will continually repeat. As long as condition is true, it will continuously repeats. Once the condition is false, then only it will come outside the loop. Is it clear? The major purpose of loops is repeating purpose. We will discuss why to repeat some statements multiple times when we discuss about arrays. That time we will discuss about it. Okay. It will immediately come outside the loop. No message, nothing. It's not error. We are writing the condition, right? As long as you are following the syntax, there is no error. Now let's say by mistake, I forgot to give I plus plus. By mistake, what will happen? Think about it and tell me the answer. Only one. Okay. Take time, take time. It will continuously go on. Okay. Do you think it will continuously go on? There is no. What is the value of I? 1 less than 10. True. What it will print? 1. What is the value of I? I plus plus is there. Are you incrementing? What is the value of I second time? 1. True. I repeatedly saying it's like a kind of monarch. Once it is entered, you should make it false to come out. Otherwise, it will never ever come. So, what is the value of I all the time? So, condition all the time true or false? Time error, no time error, no time bomb, no time bomb errors, nothing. Okay. So, what it will do? It is called infinitive loop. Infinitive times it is going to print. All the time, what it will print? One. All the time, it is going to print one only. Now, see. Infinitive. It is continuously going on executing. How to come out of it? So in the bottom, you have one red button. This one. One option, by mistake, when I was learning, I have written something like this. I was really afraid, is it going to is it going to crack my system or what? It is not stopping. I did not understand anything. Directly, I went and closed Eclipse itself. That is only the option. Directly, I close the Eclipse. Later, I realized what is this red button. You see, it will show as terminate. If you want to terminate your program in condition is true, it enters inside the loop. It will not come outside the loop unless it is becoming false. So now there is no false situation here. All are true only, all the time true. What it is going to do? Continuously repeat. So make sure you are not going to forget to give the incrementation or decrementation. Now, can you guys take one assignment? Write a program. Take assignment. Write a program using while loop to print value of I to print value of I 10 times to print value of I 10 times using decrementation. Decrementation means I minus. You should not say I plus. You have to say I minus. I'll put this program, just try to modify the program or write a new program. Okay. Now what will happen? Do you guys know why we use semicolon for every line of the code? It's the end of the statement. We are saying it's a end of the statement. Now what I did, I gave a semicolon to condition. Line number 8. Earlier, there was no semicolon. You look at the syntax here. So here I'm saying semicolon for statements, right? But did I give any semicolon for loop? Okay, what will happen if I give a semicolon here? Now what will happen? Not going to execute. According to semicolon, what does that mean? End of the statement. That statement is terminated there. It will go to the next statement, right? Every language follow the statement, semicolon. Now what will happen? Error? No error. It is saying it is considering as a statement. Statement is having semicolon or not. No syntax errors. No error. I know, I will run it. No, you cannot tell to interviewer you run it. Right? So again, this will go to infinitive loop. This again will go to infinitive loop. Just try to run it and see. It's not even going infinity loop, but in fact, it's an infinity loop. Why? What is the value of I? 1. 1 less than 10, condition is true. Condition is true. Then you are ending the statement. You are making condition true, you are ending the statement. It is stucking there only. Why it is not printing value of I? Because condition is true, you are ending there itself. So always remember, do not give semicolons to any conditions. We wrote if condition, we wrote else if condition. Now we are writing while condition. Always remember, for conditions, you should not give any semicolon. Make a note. I did this mistake once when I was learning. I was not understanding program is not running because we don't know what do you think? The program is running now, but it is not printing anything because you are making true ending it. Okay, I'll make a note. We should not give semicolon. We should not give semicolon. We should not give semicolon for below. For below. For below. First one is conditions. Conditions like while condition. Next if condition. Next else if condition. Next for condition. For loop. For loop, and also do while. Do while we need to give a semicolon. I don't write do while. Do while we have to give a semicolon. I will explain you that. Is it clear about the while loop or any questions? Okay, always remember two things. First thing is loops are used for repeating purpose. Second thing is once the condition is true, it will not come outside the loop. You have to make sure you write a programming in such a way it should become false. Okay, and another thing, don't give semicolons to the conditions. Now we will move on for another loop. We are done with the while loop. Don't worry why we need to repeat set of statements, why we need to execute it multiple times. That we will discuss when it comes to arrays. Once we start the arrays, that time we will discuss. Okay, now for loop, what is the syntax? Same in while loop, in for loop, all are same. You have to give the initialization, condition, incrementation or decrementation, right? So what is the difference in while loop? First you are putting initialization, then you are taking condition, then you are going for incrementation, but all you are putting it in one statement. All this you are putting it in one statement. Initialization, condition, incrementation or decrementation. You don't need to use both. You can use any one. So same program I wanted to write using the for loop. So right click, new class. Which one you are writing? For loop. So cap should start with capital letter. So what is the syntax? What it is saying? This is the syntax, right? So initialization, for loop, I'm putting for int I equal to 1. This is called initialization. What is my condition? I less than or equal to 10. Semicolon you have to give. Okay, I plus plus. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to print the value of I. Okay, same thing, same program. What is the difference? There you are using while loop, here you are using for loop. Is there any difference? But the only one difference is everything you are putting it in one line. While loop, you are splitting it into 3 steps, right? One, you are saying initialization, condition, statements, then incrementation. 3 steps. Okay, but here only one step. Everything you are putting it in one step. What is my step? I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus system dot out dot println. I'm printing the value of how many times it will execute. Same concept. First time, what is the value of I? 1. 1 less than condition is true. It enters inside the loop. It prints the first time. What it will print? 1. I plus plus. Value of I is what? 2. 2 less than 10. Same concept. There is nothing much difference between. Okay. This is for while loop. Sorry, for loop. Now we also have one more loop, do while loop. So what is the difference between those two loops and this do while loop is, now in while loop or in for loop, in while loop or for loop, it basically going to check. It is basically going to check whether the condition is true or false first time itself. If the condition is false, it is not going to execute. But in do while loop, we are slightly doing different. What is the different? First, we are saying do execute the statements, then do the incrementation or decrementation, then check for the condition. So what is difference is, do while loop will execute your statements at least once. It doesn't check for the condition first. I repeat, do while loop is not going to check for the condition first. First, it is going to check for execution, then it will check for the, however, we are getting same results, and then why to use this loop? They are giving multiple options. It's up to you. You want to use while loop or you wanted to use for loop. It doesn't matter, right? So it's up to you, whichever you wanted, you guys can use it. Now, when it comes to the do while loop, what it is trying to do, first it is trying to do the statements, execute the statements, and then increment or decrement and check for the condition. Then if the condition is true, then it will go back. Are you guys getting the difference? While loop, for loop. Let me show you here. Why this wire is? Okay. So now if you go to this while example, right? If you go to while example, I'll give value of I equal to 100. What is the value of I? 100. 100 is less than 10. Do you think it will execute? Why it will not execute? First of all, it is checking the condition. If this condition is true, then only it is going to execute these statements. If condition is false, it is not going to execute them. Just run it. Is it printing anything? No. Are you giving a chance to execute at least once? No. But when it comes to do while, let me write new class. Okay, same example. So I'm using the same example for all the loops. I'm saying int I equal to 1, then do, open this bracket, print the value of I. Then here you have to check for condition while. Okay, you should also give incrementation or decrementation. I plus plus. While I less than or equal to 10. See here you have to give a semicolon. For while loop, for loop, you should not give a semicolon because now it's not ending there. But when it comes to do while, it is ending here. Okay. Now what is the value of I? It doesn't check anything first time because there is no condition here for do while. First time it will execute the value of I. Then it will go for incrementation. That is only the difference. Now try to run it. What happened when I went to value of I? I changed the value of I to 100. What happened when I change it to 100? Does it execute? No. Why? Because condition is false. But here it is not checking for the condition. First time it will execute, then it is checking for the condition. Now, see, I'll change the value of I equal to 100 here. Do you think it will execute? One time. Because are you checking a condition here? First you are doing, you're saying do execute the statements. Then check for condition. It will still execute one time. It will, now it will execute this statement. It will increase the value of I. 100 plus 1, 101. Is 101 is less than 10? So that is the difference between while loop and do while or for loop also. Is it clear? It depends upon your situation. First, I wanted to execute once. If based on condition is true, then only I wanted to go for executing it. Okay. Just try to run it now. How many times it will execute? Why are you confusing? Only one time? Why no? Others are saying, why one time? What is the first time it will execute? What is the value of I? 10. What is the value of, sorry, I've given 10. Yeah, you are correct. It's my mistake. Value of I is 10 means it will execute only one. You are correct. Yeah, I did not see that I changed it. What is the value of I now? 1. What it will print? 1. What then it will check for condition. Do while. What is the condition? 1 less than 10. Condition is true. Once it is true, again it will go to execute it. Again value of I 2. 2 less than 10. Again 3. Again 4. But what is the difference here is it is always going to execute whether the condition is false or true, but it will execute at least once. Why it will execute at least once? Because it is not checking for the condition. It is not checking for the condition. First time it will execute, then it is checking for the condition. Okay. So we will stop it here today. I'll put all these examples in Google Class. Okay. Download it from Google Class. Try to do the assignment which I have given. You guys know the assignment, right? How many assignments you got? 2 assignments. Can you do the second assignment? What is the second assignment? I minus minus. Do same example using the for loop, using the do while. You can make a note. Third assignment. Do the second one. Do the second assignment with I loop. Sorry, with for loop as well as with the while. Do while. Do it for both. Okay, so all examples are placed in there using operators and loops. Okay. Okay, you guys can leave now. We'll catch up tomorrow again. మళ్ళీ వీళ్ళందరికి అవసరం లేదు కదా. కింద కింద రెండు స్క్రీన్ షాట్ లేకుంటే ఇట్లా మినిమైజ్ చేస్తున్నాను. నో హోల్డ్ ఆన్. ఫస్ట్ యూ టేక్ దిస్ వన్. అక్కడ నుంచి తీసుకో, బెటర్ ఆప్షన్. ప్రీ డిఫైన్డ్ అంటే ఆల్రెడీ దే డిఫైన్డ్ ఇట్. నో మెయిన్ అన్నది ప్రీ డిఫైన్డ్ ఫంక్షన్. దాంట్లో నువ్వు ఏం కోడ్ రాసుకుంటావు నీ ఇష్టం అది. సో యాడ్ అన్నది మనం